So you guys had a rare early season bye week. What was that like for the team? How do you think it maybe could help or even possibly hurt the team with where you guys are at the season?
No, I think we spent the week leading into the bye week just focusing on some of the things that we didn't do real well in the second half of the Colorado game, and we were able to hit on that quite a bit, so that was good. And then give the guys 3 days to enjoy time with the family, knowing that it's a long season. And then the first couple days back have been real bright, and I think that's always exciting. And so now, the next couple days really preparing for Vancouver. So overall, just based on the spirit of the group, it's been a great 10 days or so.
So you guys get the rest, but then you also have Diego and Gavin out with national team duty. What do you lose there, and maybe what do you guys have to adjust with those guys out?
I think you're going to always have these moments, whether it's injuries or call-ups. And I think for us, the most important thing is always the team and making sure that the next guy who maybe hasn't been getting enough reps steps in and has an opportunity to play and improve on some of the things that we want to as a team. So again, I think whilst you could be disappointed every time someone leaves, it's an opportunity for Diego, it's an opportunity for Gavin, so that's positive. And then it's a positive for the team because some guy's going to step up and make a difference.
Who are some of those guys maybe that you're looking at that haven't gotten the reps?
Yeah, guys like Fidel, guys like Chang, guys like Ando. I haven't really solidified how exactly we're going to line up, but I think those three players in particular, given the absence of and Crooks hasn't been in with a group, so Diego and Crooks being out, I think those three guys are more than likely to get some running depending on how Crooks recovers for the game at the weekend.
So is Crooks probably out for this weekend then?
It's still to be determined. He's making great progress, but again, I think it's going to be a kind of not a game time, but deciding whether or not the risk is worth it going to Vancouver on turf. We're doing everything we can, and I think we want to just make just have all the facts in place to make the best decision for both himself and the group and really moving forward and not just one game.
Given your disdain for turf, since you're playing on turf, are you tempted to go indoors and train on turf even though you don't like that?
Yep. I think that's, again, I think it's logical. The ball bounces differently, checks up on long balls. The surface is there's no wind, so there's so many variables that go into it that change at least getting the psychological part of playing on turf out of the way, and I think it's always important. I don't think we'll spend a lot of time on there, but whether it's in a full form session or if it's breaking it up individual groups to make sure that we get a feel of the turf.
I saw that Dami started the first 4 games up there, but did not start the 5th and came off the bench. Do you have any idea if you'll be facing him in the starting 11 or how they might set up?
No, don't have any idea as to how they're going to go. I think they lost Picoult, which is an attacking player. So there's a chance that he goes in there. We've seen how they play when he's out there. But I think I think as I always say, it's really about what we can do to impose ourselves on the game. And so that's really the primary focus is we still need to get better at some things that we're doing. And we feel like if we do that, then we'll be able to deal with the variables that come from that. And that's always the frame of mind that we attack these games in.
I wonder what you thought of you talked in the post game about the guys weren't between the lines in the right spot. Everybody moved back to help and didn't help when they moved. How much of that comes from a good place, you think? Maybe talking with the guys like, hey, I want to help and I want to do the right thing, but it's also a relatively new system and maybe that's
Yeah, I think it's all of it. And it was the one time where, I felt like, again, I think when defenses are compact, it's tough to stay more disciplined because the space is always going to be beyond the compact block, which is behind. And that's where everyone seems to go because everyone wants to get on the ball facing the game. And like I said, center backs have a certain skill set, pivots have a different skill set, 10s have a very unique skill set. And with tighter spaces and the requirement of more technique, your important players have to play in very condensed spaces. The other part of that was when we decided to play a little bit more direct, we weren't in positions to win second balls because everyone's behind the ball. So not only do we want it to play through the lines, but we also want it when we play direct so that we're in positions to be able to then set up our repress. the other part was, you know, everyone wants to solve the problem as an individual in that moment, and that was something that we learned from ourselves in that game, as opposed to trusting that your teammate's going to make the right decision to get you the ball in the position where you should get the ball to then score the goal to help the team win. So there was a lot of great information that, you know, we talked about it as a group, and hopefully we see in this next game that there's some understanding in what we talked about. And again, I think every loss is an opportunity to learn. And if you don't learn from that, then it's a loss. You lose the game in vain. That's why for me, wins and losses isn't an emotional component. It's what do you need to work on, and what can you continue to get better at.
You told me about a month ago that Fidel really had shown some value no matter where you put him, which attacking spot you put him. He may have a couple openings here depending on how things break. Has he really established one place where he's better than other? Is he really the Swiss Army knife?
Yeah, at the moment still, like, I think Mecca is a good example. Was he a right back last year? Was he a center midfield this year? This year we know that if we can't take him out of the middle of the field, he's too important to what we're doing as a team. So how long does that take? It could take one game and playing in a position where he finds success. But again, I think the way I look at Fidel and most players is, what do they do? And Fidel likes to play vertical. In other words, gets the ball, passes it, runs vertical, get the ball, dribble, go vertical. The other part of his game that's very unique to a young guy is he's not scared to shoot from anywhere. He wants to score goals. So therefore, to score goals, you have to play close to the goal. So he's got a lot of the attributes you want as any of the front players, and depending on the setup, depending on, you know, opportunities in the front line, I think it suits him well to be playing anywhere in those front four positions, because those tendencies are great in any of the front four positions.
I'm not sure how much you're able to catch of the Royals opener over the weekend, but they got 20,000 in the stadium. How much of an impact just from a soccer community here in Salt Lake does that kind of help you guys playing in the same stadium as them, and them getting 20,000 out as well for their games?
No, I saw the second half on TV, and again, I thought, you know, the environment was awesome. The fans were great. The team played great. And I think everything that, you know, we do here is collaborative, you know. Have a really good relationship with Amy, and it's great to see another team, or the Royals, back with the club, and just kind of being a part of that experience myself is a wonderful thing. And so, yeah, I thought it was a great environment, great game, and look forward to catching one live.
Awesome.
Great, awesome team.